Hey everybody, Brian Good here. Happy travel day to you. It looks like we're in for a cold travel day. Looking really good outside. We are below freezing just about every location here this morning. That wind at least is going down as expected. It was around 20 miles per hour for a gust. That was really sending those wind chill values down. Still got a wind chill now, but if you take 7 miles per hour, it's not too bad. Still expecting a decent amount of sun for today. Just some high level clouds will kind of stream overhead as we hit through the morning period, making for a kind of a hazy sky at times. But other than that, we're in really good shape. The East Coast has got a system there that may cause some airline delays today, and there's a system around Seattle. And that's really about it. It is a bit turbulent in spots across the lower 48, so a bit of a bumpy ride if you're going to be flying, but we're looking pretty good if you're traveling by car here into Wave Country. Here's the trend. I won't go into a lot of detail on the 7-day, but we will start to warm things up tomorrow slowly, even more so Friday for shoppers. Saturday, it's two fronts Saturday. The first one moves in early Saturday. It's not going to be the cold air one, though. It's going to be more of a wind shift, and then the cold air front will move in Saturday night. So then we won't feel the effects of that until Sunday. So that'll at least give us somewhat of a warmer day that are still to enjoy on Saturday, although it's going to be a bit breezy. Then we warm up rapidly and quite windy on Tuesday. I went pretty up there in the numbers, and it's the system here that it's the only next chance really a decent rain, and even that it's not that impressive. But there will be a lot of wind ahead of the system as it moves in about next Wednesday. The models differ a bit on timing, and the reason for that is the jet stream itself is very fast still aloft, so they get these little dips that happen. They don't really dig very long. They don't have a chance to dig. There's not enough blocking for them to dig, so they just graze us to move on out. Because of that, it's hard to get a really strong system now into our latitude. However, this one that's moving in is going to try to scoop up at least a band, real quick shot of rain, maybe some thunder, depends on the timing. It's trying to show a hint of snow on the backside. I'm not sold on that idea at all. I just don't see it being a dynamic enough event for that to happen. It moves on by, still some gusty winds, and turns briefly colder. What is interesting, though, is because we got this amplified pattern the way we do, and progressive in a sense, there is a risk that as some energy comes out of the four corners in the southwest, some of that may time out perfectly with one of these dips that happen, and that will pinch off, as we call that, a low, and creates a cutoff low. And we're seeing signs that may happen just after the 1st of December with that little energy here on the tail end to the front that comes through next week. And that may develop a cutoff low that may kind of work its way through the Ohio Valley. That one may be something interesting to watch, because the cutoff lows can develop the northwest side. If there's low pressures like this, the northwest side of that low, you can get an upper low with it, and dynamic cooling to get maybe some snow mixed in with some rain kind of deal. It depends on the path it would take and how deep that low becomes. That's the only thing that I can see happening between now and really the first week of December. So that's why I'm putting that chance in there, and it will fluctuate on the day here, but I don't think it's going to be an accumulating event. But it's something, guys. I'll keep tracking it. Keep in mind, we did not pick up our first measurable snow last year until the first day of winter on the 21st December, and that was just a 1/10 of an inch. Our first 1 inch of snow was pretty much our only snow that accumulated more than an inch, actually, and it was on the 5th of January. And it was the first day of school for JCPS. I remember that after the winter break when they closed, and that was it. That's a sad setup. So I don't see that kind of a deal coming our way. And when we look at our pattern, the indices, I know this is hard to read. First off, this is the Arctic indicator. You want it to go negative. This is the blocking pattern. You want it to go negative. And this is the jet stream pattern. You want it to go positive. And this kind of shows how the Pacific Ocean is behaving, which I'll get to that in a second. But notice this. The Euro, I know it's hard to see the most recent run, but it's trending downward. So that's good. It means cold air is on the move in Canada. While the GFS is trending positive. NAO, the blocking. Euro, trending negative for blocking. GFS, trending positive. They are completely opposite agreement here on how this is going to play out for us as we move into the beginning of December. Now the PNA is somewhat similar to them. They're about neutral, but even then you can see it's kind of wiggly. You see it more so in the Eastern Pacific connection that we have. It's just those little ripples, little energy waves that cross over the country, and that's why I think anytime I've seen that before on the EPO, you get into a pattern where you got to watch out for maybe a cutoff low, especially when you get an NAO that wants to go into that negative territory like the Euro was saying. It's a possibility. So we'll see how it plays out for you guys. Real quick, looking at some of the longer term stuff on the organic forecasting, Rossby waves. When we look into the first 10 days or so of December, it is not really gun-ho on the warmth for us. It's holding off on that. It's aiming it more toward the western provinces of Canada. Now, I added 2 frames here. This is about the 12th through the 16th. We begin to get colder, and then we get into the cold as we head from about roughly the 17th through the first day of winter. Typically, when I see this, though, it usually is delayed. In some cases, a good week after what you see there. So I think it's going to be the last 10 days of the month, I think, is when we'll get this cold blast. Now, is it going to stay? My gut feeling right now, and again, I'm going to update the forecast the day after Christmas, the entire winter setup here, so we got plenty of time to analyze stuff the whole month. But my gut feeling right now, as it stands, is that we're going to get this cold shot in December. Doesn't mean that we're going to get snow, but at least the pattern is got to have the cold air first, right? And I think that's going to put us in a good spot, hopefully for Christmas. I'm still going with the first 1-inch snow on Christmas Day. I know it sounds like wish casting, but it's what I believe. We may still deal with the effects of this in the first week of January. I think we'll warm up. We may get another cold shot at some point in January. I think February, the past several years, February's been a cold and snowy month. I don't know if that's going to be the case. Last year being the exception. But I do think winter will make a revenge in March. That has been a common theme this decade, and I think that is certainly possible that we get a winter's revenge. We typically do in March, early March. So this winter does not look terribly long this year, guys. But when we get it, we may have our best shot of getting something cold and wintry out of it. And there are at least some opportunities showing up. We just have to wait and see if they materialize. Now, at the moment, I should have put my snow cover map in here. I forgot it. But there's still, we need to build that snowpack more south in the plains. And we don't have much of it. A lot of it that we did have, we lost. And until I see that build more to the south, my confidence level is not overly high. We need to get that to the south, to get that storm track south. And the cutoff flow scenario would help a little bit, but still, I'd rather see a solid shield, not a little gap form there. So that's how it looks now. We'll be here for Thanksgiving and the day after, guys. So we'll have a Thanksgiving version of Snow Talk tomorrow, so make sure to tune in for that. Travel safely.